There's rain in the forecast, but we've got field hockey today. Bedford High School, we are at the Hilltop Bulldog Stadium. The 6-1 Bedford Bulldogs squaring off against the Concord Crimson Tide at 6-2. I'm Pete MacDonald with Scott O'Donnell. Scott, by all accounts, this is going to be another great game for the girls.
It certainly should be. Thanks, Pete, for the introduction, and hello, everybody. These are two very evenly matched teams. Not only are their records close, but the way they play is very similar. Both Concord and Bedford are familiar with each other over the years. Typically in every Division I sport, they tend to end up playing each other very tight. This Concord team is known for their grit. They are very aggressive. Their captains, Emma Beaujewan, Greta Norton, and Lily Savoy, all strong players, all well-rounded athletes in general, just like our Bulldogs here, and our captains of Regan O'Brien, Maxine Morris, and Eliana Enners. Unfortunately, I believe number 4 Maxine Morris is out with an injury. Haven't learned everything related to those details yet, but we'll see how that plays out for the starting lineup tonight.
So the girls, Bedford girls, came off of a tough loss to Exeter Bluehawks on Friday, but I think that wasn't a downer for them. I think that gave them some confidence coming into this game that they can play with the best state champions.
I agree, Pete. Defending state champs. They lost to them in the semis last year in one heck of a field hockey game. Again, these girls, a lot of them are very familiar with each other, whether playing club field hockey or playing high school field hockey and other sports, lacrosse and others. They all know each other. They know each other well, and they certainly compete hard out here. As we get a free hit for Concord on the far side of the field, coming up the right. Controlled by Abby Widener. Widener working the left side in traffic, and she gets a free hit. Regan O'Brien battles follow. Back to Widener, trying to work the ball down the line to Enners. Enners with her heads up, making a move. And back the other way. Good strike by Concord High, getting down the field. Addie Wolfiger kicks that away easily. And a free hit for Bulldogs. Amelia McDonald off to the left and out of bounds. Concord ball. Pete, you look at these records, and like you said, Concord sitting at 6-2, BHS, Bedford sitting at 6-1. There have been some really tight games that have tested these girls, in particular Bedford with a 4-3 win over Keene, and another real tight game against Winnicott at Winnicott with a 2-1 win in overtime.
Yeah, if you just look at the statistics with this Bedford team, 35 goals in 7 games. That's pretty impressive. You can do the math there. That's a 5-goal average per game. They've only given up 10, so that speaks well to the defense and certainly Addie in net. They're not letting a lot of these balls get by them.
Poirier moving the ball to the outside. Over to Tipping. Tipping comes up the line. Intercepted by Concord. Back to Poirier. Poirier looks upfield. Tries to advance, but intercepted. And we get a free hit for Concord. This is Beaujewan trying to work. O'Donnell breaks her up. And free hit for Bedford. Poirier slides up to take the free hit. She comes wide to Joyce, but a little too hot coming at her, so Concord ball. Pete, there's a lot of discretion for these umpires. This cannot be an easy game to call out of all the sports. A lot of these whistles, people don't really seem to understand. But the great majority of these whistles are based on foot calls or dangerous sticks, which I think is what they might have just called right there. Free ball, Bedford out at the 16. Sabrina tipping. Looks for an opening, gets it up to Enners. Enners slides it back over. Intercepted, but Kendall Joyce recovers. Over to Anna Putney, and just jumped over her stick and out of bounds.
So in field hockey, unlike ice hockey, right, the ball or the puck cannot hit the body, right? So
Exactly.
And it can be a real tough call when you've got a cluster of players and that ball is hitting a foot. So that's considered a no-no.
Exactly. Norton with the free hit and turned over back to Bedford. Enners works the middle of the field, moves it left, up to O'Brien. O'Brien tries to advance, and once again the ball comes up and hits a Concord defender. So back to Concord. Here we go. Concord moving up the field, coming across the 10-yard line. And another whistle and free hit. Another foot call, I believe, Pete. Again, so hard to tell. It is really a lot of it is up to the judge's discretion. It hits a foot, and if it doesn't change the play, typically the umpire has the opportunity to just let play go if it's not changing control or direction. Widener with the inbound. Goes back to support, over to McDonald. McDonald to tipping. Good change of fields here from Bedford. Tipping to Joyce. Joyce up to Putney. Putney tips it up. Montagano working the sideline, and they call it for another foot. Concord free hit. Joyce advanced the ball over to Putney and back to control it. Good play. And intercepted by Bergeron. Up to the 15, up to the 20, and broken up. And they're going to call another foot call on Bedford. Bergeron inbounds. And they called the dangerous stick, I believe, on that. Joyce intercepts. Gets a foot call on Concord, yep. Here comes Joyce down the line. Yep, good call. The ref with the eyeball in that sideline. Joyce with the free hit. Tries to switch fields. Enners knocks it down. Enners makes a move. It slides it out to midfield. Nice pass over to O'Brien. O'Brien's coming up the field down to the 20, Montagano. Montagano works the left side and controls it back to O'Brien. Over to O'Donnell. O'Donnell gets bumped, and they call it Crimson Tide's ball. Coming back across midfield is Concord High. And tipping with a nice defensive play to break it up and control the ball. Slides it up to Joyce. Joyce tries to push it back down the field again. And out of bounds off Concord.
You see in this game too you'll see a lot of fancy footwork and stick work. I mean, those are just two key things. The players don't want that ball hitting their foot, and it's real close to them. And they're only allowed to use the flat part of the stick. One side is rounded, the other is flat, and they've got to maneuver that stick so the flat side only.
And free hit again for Concord. Concord slides the ball out to the right side of the field, coming up across the 15. And free hit for Concord. Concord tries to cross the ball. Great knockdown by McDonald. And Bedford is on the run back up the field. Ball out to about midfield. And Concord slides it back in, but that'll go out of bounds and be back to Bulldogs. As you can see, a lot of midfield action right now. Both these teams evenly matched. I think the scoring opportunities hopefully will come in time as both teams settled in. But they know the pressure in this game because this really certainly will separate the pack in the standings. That's for certain.
Yeah, they really haven't got into the scoring circle yet, either team. They've been playing between the 20s.
Widener slides it down the left side. O'Brien gets a call in the favor of the Bulldogs. Widener picks up that free hit, crosses, and deflected out of bounds. It should remain Bulldog ball, just pulling it back out. Yeah, back out to the 25. Bulldog ball. And controlling the ball back to O'Donnell. O'Donnell up the middle to Montagano. Montagano in the circle, but just can't get the shot off. Good effort there. Oh, nice quick play. And the referee slows him down. Ball remains with Bedford. Joyce just about inside the 15. Taking a look. Smart play. Enters to the net. Montagano follows up with a shot. Backhand. Oh, good try. Almost. And we're going to have a corner off of that.
So, Scott, why don't you tell us about the corner? That's one of the very unique things in field hockey.
Yeah, well, this is when we get a free hit and a free inbound. You've got to send 6 players out to the 50. The ball comes in. You got to clear the circle with the ball first, and then you can bring it back into the circle, and then a shot can be taken. A lot of teams try and coaches try and create some misdirection here. So you're going to see the inbound and probably one other pass. Oh, it just hopped up over Enner's stick, back out to the 30. Tipping runs in, tries to crash to hold it in, and Concord comes away with it, and now they got a break. And off to the sideline. Taylor on the inbound for Concord High. She tries to go down low into the corner and does. Over to Beaujean. Number 9, Smalley tries to get the ball up towards the net. And we have another call and free ball for Bedford. And back and forth they go, really trying to work their way through this game here. That was a call on O'Donnell for moving her body and shielding the ball and not moving with the ball. Ball down in the Bedford corner. Joyce makes a nice play clearing the ball upfield and gets it out almost to the 50. Good defensive play there, bought him some time.
In order to score in field hockey, too, you've got to get into inside the scorer's circle, or the D, right? And I believe on this field, that's the blue arc. Is that a blue or black arc?
Yeah, I believe it is a
and
black
what you'll
arc.
notice is they can't they can't score until they're inside that arc, which makes it interesting. And you'll definitely you'll see them bunch up once they get into that circle. The sticks start to go.
Yep, the sticks start to fly,
yep,
as they say.
The opportunity to score.
You know, both these teams very well coached, on both sides. High-end college experience, great knowledge of the game, really good motivators for these girls. Beaujean falls, but recovers, takes a whack at it, and I think they're calling a dangerous stick there.
Dangerous stick, yep.
So these girls are all well coached. I got to have a short conversation with the Concord High coach. Really proud of the work ethic out of her group, and she just feels it's beyond compare. And they show up every day. They want to learn and get better and understand the game. They really put in the work, and she's really proud of them. As I know, Coach McStowe and Coach Goodrow feel the same way about the Bulldogs. Beaujean working hard in the middle, trying to get the ball, but Enners works it away. Met with resistance, but she gets a free hit. Enners moves the ball side of the field. And Concord gets a free hit, gets that ball back. Okay, Bulldog ball. Coming up midfield. Tries to get the ball to Montagano. And back to Concord. Widener knocks it down. And free hit Concord. McDonald intercepts. Slides the ball out to Widener. Widener to Enners. Putney gets the ball. Coming across the 25. Putney continues to try and pursue. And turnover for Concord ball.
That looked like a stick tackle, which you can't do.
Yeah.
Can't go, unlike hockey, ice hockey, you can't go after the opponent's stick. Got to go after the ball.
You can jab at the ball, but you just can't knock that stick out of their hand or lift it. McDonald with a great defensive play, pushing the player off. And moves it out the sideline. And again, those are good plays. That buys time for the team to come back. Oh, and it's Bedford ball. Excuse me, Bedford ball. Great defensive play there. Back in Concord's possession. And free hit back to Bedford. McDonald works up the left sideline. Intercepted by Concord. So they come back across the 20. Play broken up again by Tipping. And that's the end of first quarter play. 0-0.
Well, they're holding each other tight, that's for sure.
Not a lot of scoring opportunities. Yep. Still trying to look for those openings to get those scoring opportunities.
So, we got a couple minutes break here at the first quarter. BHS Sports this week. Tuesday, big game. It's girls soccer versus Concord. They'll be under the lights here at Bulldogs Stadium at 7 o'clock. 5 p.m. JV game. Wednesday the 21st, girls volleyball. This team is undefeated, 4-0. They're playing and hosting Goffstown in the gym. Varsity's at 6:30. And then Thursday, we got the freshman boys football taking on Portsmouth at 5 p.m. So a lot of action here this week at Bedford High School.
Full schedule for the Bulldogs in all realms.
Yes, indeed. Big shout out to Bedford Crew. I'm looking from the press box out to the Crew trailer. I can see in the distance. They had their first regatta in Boston on Saturday, 9/17. And they had 7 boats in the water. By all accounts, they did real well. These are head races, so they're racing against the clock versus side by side. First regatta of the season, and they got a full slate of regattas and events coming up through the month of right through Halloween, actually. So they'll be out on the water. That's actually the largest varsity sport at Bedford High School. 78 kids, 78 student athletes, and they're on the water all fall. So.
Pretty dedicated group, that's for
indeed.
sure.
Yeah, they work them hard, that's for sure.
Pete, I think that brings us to our first quarter player profile, and that would be senior captain Regan O'Brien. Regan is a forward and has had one heck of a year already to start off. She has 7 goals so far. She's a speedster on the field, as you've seen. 100% effort from her at all times. Really fun to watch her. And next year, it's my understanding she's committed to UPenn. She's also a very talented lacrosse player, and she plans to be playing lacrosse for UPenn next year. We're going to miss her here in Bulldog Stadium and representing the Bulldogs because she is one heck of an athlete and all-around good kid.
Yeah, UPenn, strong in lacrosse, very strong in field hockey as well. Great school for both sports.
Well, here we go. Another 15 minutes on the clock. Getting ready to start the second quarter of play here. The rain has held off for us so far. Playing under the lights early. Enners moves the ball up the field. Passes back to Widener. Widener back to Enners. Enners spins. Tries to go midfield. Intercepted by Concord. O'Donnell chases it down, and ball comes back, and they call a foot on that. Joyce, the free hit, moves it downfield, and ball back to Concord. So Greta Norton for Concord High will take the free hit. Norton is also a very talented ice hockey player. Intercepted by Poirier, knocked down, and they called that a foul, and back to Concord's ball. Looks like another body call. Concord's working the sideline. Norton. Into midfield. Excuse me, center of the field at about the 25. Taylor will inbound for Concord High. Goes to the corner, intercepted by Widener. Really nice defensive play. Again knocked down by McDonald. Another good defensive play. And Widener moves up with the ball. She's looking to change fields. And intercepted again by Concord. Over to the corner, and a crossing ball across the front of the net and through. I think we dodged a bullet on that one, Pete. That was a heck of a shot.
Yes, indeed. Yep. Well set up.
Okay, Joyce on the sideline, back in. Tipping, trying to work the ball out. Concord has us pinned on the sideline here. And Concord ball. Beaujuan strikes it. Shot on net. Got the rebound.
Oh, and there's a score. Yep.
And there it is. That looks to be Kennedy Craig, number 12, with the goal there. Bourgeois basically shot it at the net. Nice, low, hard drive. And that was rebounded and put in by Craig. Nice play getting that ball to the net.
Concord goal by number 12, Kennedy Craig.
So 1-0, Crimson Tide. Joyce trying to work the sideline again. Free hit for Bulldogs. It's really all the offense we've had so far, Pete.
That's it. It just goes back to the fundamentals, man. You get that. You got to go after that rebound, right?
Yeah.
Kicked out the first one, and they got it in second try, and you just don't stop when you're in that scoring circle.
Yeah, balls
you
to
just
the net.
got to go for it. Absolutely.
Balls to the net.
Absolutely.
O'Donnell over to Enners. Enners back to O'Donnell. O'Donnell keeps working at it. Tries to go sideline. And the call goes Bulldogs' way. A little confusion amongst Concord players. Concord players are very aggressive. They're well coached. They play the whistle. They do not let up. In comes Joyce, over to Putney. Putney tries to work it in. Defended very well by Norton from Concord. And a great tackle by O'Donnell coming down the right side and draws a foul. Joyce cross field to Enners. Enners straight in and knocked out by Concord. Poirier on the intercept. Comes down the right side. And they call the foul on Concord. Joyce will inbound. Taking a look around for her options. The players are moving. O'Brien slides across the baseline. And off Concord again. Another free hit for the Bulldogs.
It's fun watching Brooke Poirier. I've watched her so many times this season. She can just hug that line and never go out of bounds, and she's just on the razor's edge. And you think it's out, and it's not. She's got a lot of finesse in her play.
Certainly, very strong stick skills. That's for sure. Okay, foot call on Concord. Joyce picks up for the free hit. Tries to go back to Enners in traffic. Putney with a nice move, trying to weave her way in. And ball knocked out and cleared again by Concord. Must have gone off a Bulldog stick because Concord ball. Hannah for Concord High. Tries to work the left side. Intercepted by O'Donnell. Tries to switch fields. Knocked down by Allie McGonigal from Concord. And free hit for Concord. Concord will take the ball right about the 45. Oh, no, they're pushing it back. From Concord 45. Hard strike by Beaujuan. And they call it a dangerous hit. This would be Bulldogs ball. It should slide up right about to the 50. And they're giving it to the Bulldogs at the Bulldog 45. O'Donnell's looking over her options. Slides it left over to Widener. Widener back to support, over to McDonald. McDonald to Tipping. Tipping works right side of the field, up to Poirier. Joyce with a great move around the defender, but out of bounds. Concord ball. Norton with a strike. Slides it into McGonigal. McGonigal's working hard, pressing up to the 20. Strikes the ball in. Ball at the net. Concord High in a flurry. And Bedford's able to clear. Back in. Bourgeois tries with a strike. Dangerous stick, and back to Bedford ball. Joyce working the crowd here. They call a foot call on us, on Bedford. Down to the baseline, Poirier with the interception. Back and forth she goes, trying to clear. Enners spins away with the ball. There's some open field. O'Brien chases it down up to the 40. She's coming up to the 50, midfield, crosses into Concord territory with another pop. And intercepted by Concord. And intercepted again by Widener for Bedford. And they're going to give the free hit to Concord. Widener knocks down the free hit. Tries to work the left sideline again. She's looking for help. Ball out of bounds off Concord stick. Bedford ball. Widener with a lift. Into traffic. Knocked down. Enners with another spin move. Trying to find an opening. And Concord again intercepts. Stingy defense from Concord. They're really right on top of all the Bedford players. There's not a lot of room for movement, Pete.
There isn't.
It's a great ball by McDonald. Down the side. Widener intercepts. And out of bounds off Concord.
Yeah, their defensive coverage is on game today, that's for sure. They're just not allowing Bedford to get too close.
Montagano moves in. A good effort, great defensive play by Concord. Enners again. Back to O'Donnell again. Denon in the game now. Denon works down the side over to O'Donnell. O'Donnell moves the ball up, tries to advance towards the net. Intercepted by Concord. Intercepted again by Tipping in Bedford. And we got a free hit coming Bedford's way. This might generate some offense here now, Pete. We're at the top of the circle. Everybody's
Good place
up.
to be. Yep.
They slide it back to O'Donnell. O'Donnell tries to drive in. It's in the circle. Looks like Concord's going to get to it first. And they're calling a corner on that. Bedford corner.
We'll take it. I didn't see the infraction, but corners are great scoring opportunities, obviously. Let's see what we can do here.
McDonald getting ready and preparing for the inbound. Let's hope this one stays flat and doesn't pop over a stick here. And it comes. Clears a circle, enters. Over to O'Brien. O'Brien a shot and a tip off by Putney's stick, almost in. That was well executed.
Very good.
And off Concord's stick, and that's going to be a Bedford ball out about the 25. Excuse me, Bedford ball.
Well, they're getting some chances now.
O'Donnell tries to advance forward, intercepted. Concord clears it out again. Down the right side, Tipping tries to go. Denon's chasing it down, can't get there in time. It goes out of bounds. Concord ball. Norton. The free hit for Concord High. They're going to call a dangerous hit on that. Possession will come back to Bedford. Here we are, we're working inside the 15. Back to Poirier. Trying to control, trying to switch fields. Tipping has to chase it down. It got a little bit away from her. Number 22 for Concord High is given chase, Amy DeRochers. And she intercepts the ball. She's working down the 20, the 25. And Tipping gets back in time.
Good defense there, yeah.
Tipping's been a workhorse all season.
McDonald got her stick in there and didn't draw the stick foul. She went after the ball and then Tipping. Yeah, what can you say?
Yeah, she's everywhere.
She certainly is.
Just a great player. Over to McDonald. McDonald over to Widener. And out of bounds. Well, we still stand at 1-0, Pete. 2 minutes left in the second quarter. Intercepted by Enners. Enners works up the field across the 40, across the 45. Gets it across the 50 into Concord territory. They're calling a free hit for Concord. Norton brings it up to the 50. Hands it over to Hannah, Nadia Hannah. And Abigail Widener intercepts. She's looking for support. She's trying to work that sideline. Nice pop pass over to O'Brien. O'Brien again. And again, Pete, this Concord Crimson Tide, they're just right on top of the Bedford Bulldogs. Every time they try and make a move, there's just seem to be pretty tenacious in their hustle.
Absolutely.
Okay, switching fields now. Poirier trying to move up the right. Advances the ball to Denon. Denon to Putney. Putney chips it ahead, tries to chase it down. Hannah makes a play and puts it into Putney's feet to get the free ball. 55 seconds left. Hannah for Concord High with the strike. Putney with a great intercept and a tomahawk reverse. She gets the ball across the field, but unfortunately, Concord breaks it up. And back comes Bedford, trying to get that ball in. Putney on the goal line, slides it across. Oh, Concord intercepts. O'Brien trying to make a move, moves right. Another tomahawk, tries to get the ball in. And they call a dangerous ball. Be a free hit for Concord High. It's Savoy. And she just clears it out, and I think they'll be happy to go into halftime with a 1-0 lead here. Tipping tries to advance it. McDonald knocks it down and safely carries it upfield, and that'll be the end of the second. 1-0 Concord High at this point in time.
Scott, that's quite a first half. Concord, not a lot of shots by either team, not a lot of opportunities, but Concord ended up having one that went in the net. So they took advantage. But the Concord defense is really giving Bedford fits here.
Yeah, stingy at best, right? I think is the expression. They certainly are on top of the Bedford Bulldogs. And that goal scoring situation, just like the opportunity just before that, you get balls to the net, you don't know what's going to happen. So when shots are coming across and a goalie has to make a play, a lot can happen off a rebound. And a lot of time and a lot of the difficulty that I think a lot of these players have is trying to weave through traffic and figure out how to get that ball to the net. Okay, we're back. We're about 35 seconds away from the start of the third quarter. Players are working their way out on the field.
I didn't find it. Where does she normally hide feet? All the way down front? No, she's either right in the middle there. Just listen for her cackle. I'm not going to tell her that.
Yeah, looking at the Bedford roster, 9 seniors this year.
9 seniors.
Moving on.
And Concord High as well. They've got 9 getting ready to graduate this year. So
certainly can appreciate Coach Godreau and the JV team. We're going to be bringing a few up next year, it would seem.
Yeah, we have, looking at this team now, we've got 2 freshmen on the team, but the girls coming up on that JV program, the girls last year playing in the middle school tri-county championships and winning. So there are some talented young field hockey players coming up in this system. So Bedford should be very competitive the next couple of years. Free hit to Bedford. Enters, brings it in. Tries to go up the middle, intercepted by Concord. Intercepted by McDonald. Tries to slide the ball up the sideline. Goes off a Concord player. Should be a Bedford ball. It is. McDonald again to inbound. Down the left. And off O'Brien's stick out of bounds will be Concord ball. Savoy with a free hit for Concord. Knocked down by Enners. Denon gets in the mix, grabs that ball. And back to midfield. O'Donnell tracks it down, battling for it. Putney comes back to help, tries to knock it down as well, but Concord advances the ball. Concord works across and intercepted by Tipping. Tipping starts to pull it out. Beaujoin gets it back in. Back into the scoring circle. O'Donnell's trying to play tough defense on number 22, DeRochers. And Concord's earned themselves a corner.
This will be Concord's first corner. Let's see what they call here.
Taylor inbound. In it comes. Hannah drops it. Slides it over. McGonigal with a nice strike, but knocked down by Addie Wolfiger in goal. Ball will come back out to 25 and be a Concord ball.
Yeah, Wolfinger has been great in net for the team. She, like I said, we've got what did I say earlier? 10 goals against. I guess 11 effective today, but just between the defense and her goalkeeping, she's keeping him in the games.
She's played extremely well. She certainly has. We have a delay for the referee to give a little explanation to the players. I like it when they do that. It's always a learning experience. And out of bounds, it's going to be Concord ball. Savoy preparing for the inbound for Concord. Knocked down by Enners. Handled by McGonigal. Over to DeRozers. Back again, but tipping once again is there with a stellar defensive play. Ball back to Bedford. Tipping tries to advance.
Here's a stick infraction.
And again, tipping's there. Just solid play. Tries to move the ball down the line. Enners is working it. And off a foot. Concord high ball again. There is not a lot of open space out there, Pete. There really isn't. Every time a Bedford player gets that ball, it seems like there's a Concord player right on top.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and if I understand the game, you want to open up the field, right?
Right.
That's a key strategy. You've got to get that open field.
Absolutely. Putney comes back to help out on D, makes a great play. Denon, the free hit, gets knocked down and intercepted again by Tipping, and Tipping pulls it out. Tipping trying to force the ball up the line, coming down the right side of the field, up to the 30, up to the 35, across midfield, and she bounces it off a Concord player. Bedford possession. Brings it in. O'Donnell trying to work the midfield. Back over to Enners. Pass came in a little hot. Enners knocks it down. Advances the ball up to Montagano. Montagano with a nice leave. O'Brien back across to Montagano. Montagano to the baseline. Montagano tries to work across, and a nice defensive play by number 8, Nadia Hanna for Concord High. Crimson Tide to the free hit. Ball clears the zone. McGonigal gets it, and they call her for a foot infraction. Back to Bedford. McDonald from the 40. Makes a move. Goes down the sideline and out of bounds. About 8 minutes left in the third quarter here at Bedford. Looks like there might be some storms rolling in from the Doppler radar. But for right now, we're holding off. Intercepted by Enners. Enners to O'Brien. O'Brien breaks into the crease. Shot by Montagano, saved by Concord. Montagano again gets her own rebound. Slides it over to O'Donnell. They're battling for it, and they're going to get a corner. Strong offensive play there.
That was great. I think that's probably the best series so far for Bedford. On the attack, and they get the corner.
Montagano made a nice little dish right there, trying to feed O'Donnell to wind up. Again, the Concord player was right on them, but that was a smart play, trying to distribute. Let's see if Concord can capitalize on this opportunity. If Bedford can capitalize. Inbound on McDonald. Over to Enners. Enners slides over to O'Brien. O'Brien tries to advance. It pops up at the net. McDonald almost put it in. Concord goalie seemed to get a pad on it. Just went out to the side. And they're going to give the ball back to Bedford at the 25 coming in.
Great offensive series here with Bedford.
Yeah, they're starting to come alive here. Enners makes a move back and forth. O'Donnell knocks it down, flips it towards the net. Ball bounces up in the air. Enners knocks it down again. Enners with a drive. Oh, just missed wide left. She didn't miss by much, Pete.
It was headed in the right direction.
You know, another foot, and that was on net. It's a good drive, good try. Concord comes out with it. Slides up to McGonigal. McGonigal down the right side. Tipping intercepts, knocks the ball down. McDonald picks it up. Late whistle on the ref. I think there was probably a foot call a little earlier, and the referee just didn't call it right away. Taylor passed the ball up. It went out of bounds. It'll be Bedford ball at just about the 20 inbound. Tipping. Passes up, knocked down. Beaujoin spun and shielded the ball with her body, so referee calls it Bedford ball. The middle of the field to O'Donnell. O'Donnell moves it right side of the field over to Denon. Denon over to Putney. Putney tries to make a pass and intercepted by Concord. Battle on the side. Denon with a nice steal. Advances the ball down the right side of the field all the way down to the 25 and now out of bounds. Denon with the inbound. Tries to go sideline. It gets intercepted by Concord. Ball bounces around again and a foot call against Bedford. Concord to the free hit. Norton drives. Goes down the left side. Poirier knocks it down. Poirier trying to advance the ball. Poirier comes across field to Tipping. Tipping switching fields to Widener. Widener cutting up the middle. Tries to get to Montagano and Concord High intercepts. Denon with another keep in. Montagano out wide to Putney. Putney cuts in. Beautiful move. And they call the foot foul on Concord. Denon, free hit. Denon moves, tries to cross the ball, and Concord High knocks it down.
Bedford looking a lot better here in the third quarter. They get pressure in the Crimson Tide zone. It's good to see them on that side of the field.
Certainly starting to come alive. Rochers intercepts. Widener comes back, tries to make a play. It's going to be a free ball for Bedford. Widener picks it right up, tries to move quickly, only to be intercepted again by Beaujoin. Free Concord ball. Savoy slides up for the Crimson Tide. She'll take the free hit. Savoy with a big drive up the field. That's going to probably make it the distance. Tipping tracks it down. It doesn't. Tipping has to move it across the baseline. Comes up the right side of the field. Knocks it out off a Concord player. Again, smart play by Tipping. Tipping to inbound. Looking for an opening. Slides it up to Denon. Denon to the 30. Into the center of the field. Ball up to the 50. Montagano tries to track it down. They make a call in favor of the Bulldogs. The ball's advancing into the circle. Montagano's chasing it down. O'Brien holds it in, makes a move off a Concord stick. Ball's probably coming back out to the 25, Pete. A free hit for Bedford. O'Donnell about to take the free hit. Slides it down baseline. O'Brien tries to cross it. Just doesn't get enough of it. And out of bounds. Concord ball. Savoy's pulling it up to the 15. Technically 16. Another strong hit. Going the length of the field. And it'll make it out of bounds. So that'll come back the other way. Bedford ball. Minute 30 in the third quarter. Still 1-0. Crimson Tide. This is a tight game.
I like the way Bedford's playing this quarter. You haven't got it in the net yet. But
great ball by Tipping. O'Brien slides up the field. Gets to the 50-yard line. Tries to advance it. Intercepted by Concord again. Ball comes back into Bedford territory. Poirier trying to play defense here. Get that ball out. O'Donnell tries to help. They're going to call on third party there. It's a good opportunity for Concord to score right there, but once again, Tipping gets a stick on it. Ball over to Widener. Widener spins, trying to look for help, look for an opening. Tipping tries to advance. Ball stolen. McDonough with a great defensive play, knocking that ball down. They end up calling her for a foot foul. I didn't necessarily see that. Taylor for the Crimson Tide with the free hit. Down low to McGonigal. McGonigal with a strike. Ball coming across. O'Donnell knocks it down. O'Donnell pops out with it, tries to clear it, gets it up to O'Brien. O'Brien coming down the left side. O'Brien has speed. O'Brien has the angle and runs out of time. End of the third quarter. It's too bad we didn't have a little more time left on the clock with her speed. I think she could have got around her, Pete.
Absolutely. But a good quarter overall for the Bulldogs. They were in the Crimson Tide zone a lot more than they've been the first half, and we'll see what the fourth quarter brings. But good playing.
Well, that brings us to our end of the third quarter player profile, which is another captain for the Bedford Bulldogs field hockey team, Eliana Enners. Enners is a senior. Enners plays forward, and so far this year, Enners has 4 goals. Enners makes a heck of a lot of plays. We don't have the stat totals for the assists, but she is always in the mix. I remember seeing Eliana Enners play for the Lergio Lions middle school team, and one of the things you noted about her from a very young age is the fact that she's got quite a motor on her. She does not quit. Enners also plays lacrosse, and Enners has committed to go to Embry-Riddle, where she is going to study aeronautics. I believe she'll be playing lacrosse for Embry-Riddle down there, Florida. Well, here we go. 25 seconds until the start of the fourth quarter. I think you're right, Pete. I think Bedford started to show some signs of life, started to get some offense going. And, you know, we've seen these girls so far this season in a couple of these games where they were playing tight ones. They don't quit. They will keep coming. You know, tight game. They were playing from behind the entire game out in Keene on grass.
That's right.
You know, down 1-0, tie 1-1. Down 2-1, tie 2-2. Down 3-2, tied at 3-3. And then eventually in the fourth, late in the fourth, took the lead and held onto it 4-3. And quite a game out there. And same thing really with the game at Winnacunnet on grass a couple weeks ago. You know, played a great game, really neck and neck, went into overtime and won a thriller. So these girls will not give up. They're going to keep coming. Denon with a nice intercept. Enners slides it up left, trying to catch O'Brien. A little bit too far ahead of her, but O'Brien spins off Savoy, knocks it down, and a free hit for Bedford. Widener comes down the left, pops it downfield. And they're calling the Crimson Tide for, I believe, a dangerous stick. I'm not certain on that. I apologize. Widener with the free ball. Knocked down by McGonigal. O'Donnell picks up the slack, slides it in. Ball comes back upfield. And there's tipping. Tipping over to Denon. Denon chasing it down, giving hustle, and ball out of bounds. Concord ball. The Concord 35. Ball in. Knocked down by Poirier, but they're calling her for a foul. Ball advances down to the Bedford 30. Enters, intercepts. Enters, works it up the field. Great pass up to Regan O'Brien. O'Brien comes across the 35. And they call foul on Concord. Foul on Crimson Tide. Free hit for Bedford. O'Donnell slides over to Widener. Widener gets about to the 10. Foot call on the Tide. And intercepted by Beaujois. And intercepted again by McDonald for the Bulldogs. Comes down the left side. And ball out on Concord. McDonald inbounds to Widener. Widener with a lane. Trying to work her way to the 15. Ball pops out. Denon there. Denon with a great stick move over to O'Donnell. O'Donnell slides it into the circle. And we got a foot call in the circle. Should be a corner
That
for
should be
the
a corner,
Bulldogs.
indeed. This will be their third corner, if I got my count right. And another great opportunity to even up this game. I don't have the stats in front of me, but Bedford's done a very good job with their corners this year. And they've scored numerous times, and we'll see what they do here.
McDonald sets, waits for the referee. She's got the go-ahead. Inbound. 2 enters. Entered, slides left, slides right, circles in, ball in the crease, foot call.
Yep, that'll be another corner.
Looks like another corner. Things started to open up right there, Pete. There looked like if that play continued, it might have had a great opportunity.
Agreed.
McDonald on the inbound again. Enters, slides over to Widener. Widener to the net.
That's it.
Montagano at the line. That looks like a Bedford goal. Bulldogs score.
Great to see him capitalize on the corner. Even up the score.
There's some confusion on the field as to whether or not that's Montagano's goal or not, but all that matters is that that's a Bedford goal and it's going to be on the scoreboard. We have a 1-1 game.
It's a fun fact for us with the bad eyes. The best way to know who scored the goal is just watch who picks the ball up out of the net and runs to center. So
right.
I just learned that. I'm a slow learner, but Scott's getting me through it here.
Eloise Montagano is a freshman, Pete, and that is what I have as her 8th goal of the season. She has certainly been in the right place at the right time as Enters knocks down a drive, gets it up to O'Brien. O'Brien comes up the 20, moves left, moves right, spins around. Ball starts to go to the sideline. Little confusion. And we've got a call. I believe that's going to go Crimson Tide's way. Yeah, Crimson Tide's way. Free hit for Crimson Tide. Hannah goes to line up. Nadia Hannah looking to drive. She doesn't get all of it, but Beaujois gets it. And we got a card on Concord Crimson Tide. Emma Beaujois is being carded for pushing through, is what the referee was calling his explaining on the field. So in this situation, Concord High will be down a player. This will be at a big advantage for Bedford. And the Bulldogs, let's see if they can capitalize on this opportunity with one extra player essentially on the field.
Yeah, they've got 2 minutes to see what they can do with man advantage. In this case, girl advantage.
Okay. Reset, enters, slides it back to Tipping. Tipping over to Denon. Denon slides back to the left. Concord right on top of her. Over to Enners. Enners tries to get the ball in the circle.
High stick.
And they're calling a high stick. Ball comes back out to the spot of the foul in the 20. Over to O'Donnell. Slides it over to McDonald. McDonald works up the left side. Nice one-handed move. Back over to Enners. Enners tries to get the ball in the circle. Looks like she gets it in. And Concord High, with their stingy defense, pushes it outside. Back outside the circle.
That's foot. Yep.
And they're
Still
going to
Bedford.
call foot. Widener to Enners. Enners tries to go back into the circle. Loses it. McDonald knocks it down. McGonigal tries to beat MacDonald to the ball, but MacDonald plays it perfect and draws a foul. Into O'Donnell. O'Donnell with a pass completely across field. Denon up to the 25, up to the 20. Nice ball up to Putney. Putney with a beautiful cross. Ball comes into the circle, pops back out, but there's Tipping. Tipping drives it in. Ball bounces into the circle and out. That's going to be a Bulldogs ball at the 25. So went off a Concord stick. Ball into O'Donnell. O'Donnell winds up, misses the shot. They call a dangerous stick. Crimson Tide's ball. Hannah with a drive. Knocked down by Enners. O'Brien and Widener work it, trying to put the pressure on. Come down the left side.
Great offensive pressure.
Sorry, Pete. Beaujouan's back in the game. Did they call a corner on that, Pete, with that body? I guess they did.
I didn't see the signal, but yep, they're set up for a corner. It's what, fourth? Fifth. I think that's the fifth corner for Bedford. Scored on the last one.
McDonald sets up, waiting for the referee's signal. In comes to Enners. Enners with a drive. Knocked down by the goalie. And Concord ball. That was well executed.
Yeah, that was a good play.
Savoy drives one. Hits O'Donnell right in the foot. She goes down. Up comes McGonigal across the 30, across the Bedford 20. Tries to drive the ball, but Poirier gets a stick in the way and knocks it down. They're calling it Bedford ball. Should be out about the 25. Excuse me. No, back out to the what would be the 16. Tipping tries to advance the ball. Concord knocks it down. Back in and out of bounds. Looks like Coach Mustoe is going to make some subs here. Yeah, Donald took that ball off the foot. She's going out. Concord knocks it down, advancing the ball towards the net. McDonough with a great defensive play. Beautiful, beautifully done. Great block tackle. Controls the ball. And we get it out. Sideline to Widener. Widener to O'Brien. O'Brien comes down up to the 40. She's met there by a Crimson Tide player. Ball goes back Concord's way. Over to Taylor. And a foot call. Concord High is calling a timeout. 5 minutes, 55 seconds left in the fourth quarter. We got a 1-1 game. Concord High has possession. I believe that's going to be a free hit, Pete, about the 25-yard line.
Well, we knew this game was going to be a tough one, and
Certainly.
it certainly has lived up to its billing. 1-1, just under 6 minutes to go, and I'll tell you, Bedford though, the second half, they're looking like the Bedford team we've been watching all season. They really have been pressing. They're in the Crimson Tide zone. It's good to see.
Yeah, they've certainly come alive. A lot of good, crisp passes, quick decisions. It seemed like in the first half they were a little bit tentative. A lot of the teams we have played haven't been as aggressive as this Concord team. I'm really impressed by how quickly they get on the ball. But no, our Bulldogs seem to be figuring that out, moving the ball quicker, advancing it, changing fields, finding the open player. Again, well-coached team. And we got a great one here. This last 5:55 should be fun. Ultimately, Pete, looking at the standings, this is really going to separate people. You've got Wyndham and Exeter tied for first. You've got Winnicott and Bedford, Concord and Dover all in that next tier in the pack. Concord drives the ball back, looking to control. And that'll be a Bedford ball. Yeah, Joyce is back in the game. Joyce slides across to Enners. Enners slides across to Denon. Intercepted by McGonigal from Concord High. Pulled back around by McDonald. Good defensive play here. She moves it, controls it over to Tipping. Tipping tries to get to Widener. Just not enough on that pass. Crimson Tide ball. At the 25. Melina Caceres tries the inbound. Over to Bergeron. Bergeron moves right and left, takes a drive, and drives it to the left of the goal. But she did get a lot of that stick on that ball. It'll be a free hit for Bedford. We're just under 4 minutes, 30 seconds in a tie game. Ball at the 16. Tipping. Tipping moves it forward. Knocked down by Concord. Ball back in. Taylor slides into the circle across. McGonigal just can't get there in time. Another scoring opportunity for the Crimson Tide. Tipping to the 16 with the free hit. Moves it up. Yeah, that should be a foot call on Concord. It is. Enners slides it up, goes up to midfield, over to Putney. Putney chips it across, beating the Concord defender. She goes wide with the ball to O'Brien. O'Brien goes to chase it down and just misses it at about the 15-yard line.
Yeah, she almost caught that ball. Caught up with that ball.
Yeah, the speed between O'Brien and Putney is amazing. And we just, Bedford just hasn't had much of an opportunity yet to use it today. Enner's going to take a free hit after a foot call at the 25. Moves the ball in, tries to get in the circle, and knocked out again by number 9, Smalley from Concord High. Poirier with a nice defensive play. And then Taylor pulls it back again for Concord. Denon over to Enners. Enners tries to work the middle of the field, slides it over to Widener. Widener slides the ball down low, trying to get it to O'Brien. Intercepted again by a Concord High player. Free hit Concord. From the 16. Bergeron drives it hard. McDonald with a beautiful play knocking that ball down. Slides it up. Putney into the circle. Tries to chip it over the top of the defender's stick. But the defender knocked it down. That's number 8, Hannah for Concord High. She goes to drive, and they call a dangerous ball. Two minutes left in this game. Ball on Denon's stick. At the 20, slides it in. Over to Kendall Joyce. Kendall Joyce tries to cross it. Goes off a Concord defender. I believe that's going to be a Bulldogs free hit from the 25, and it is. Tipping. Tipping slides in, tries to advance. Gets it into the circle. Montagano on the ball. Denon tries again. Foul against Crimson Tide. It's going to be a corner ball for the Bulldogs. Minute 38. 1-1 game.
If you like close games, it doesn't get much better than this, Scott.
No, and this is a great opportunity for Bedford to put this thing away. Both these teams have played so well. They match up so well against each other. McDonald sets, waits for the referee. Referee gives her the go-ahead. Inbound, over to Enners. Enners right to left. Widener with a shot. O'Brien with a goal. Bedford goal, Bulldogs score. Abby Widener puts it in. Couldn't have been more timely. 1:04 left in the game. Off the corner. McDonald to Enners. Enners across, and Widener follows up. Great execution.
Oh, just perfect. And that's where you look at your seniors and you say, we got 9 of them on the squad, and this is the time you need them.
Yep.
The experience and the skill paid off.
Absolutely, Pete.
Bedford goal by number 3, Abby Widener. Assist to number 6, Eliana Enners.
Oh, McGonigal with a steal. She's trying to slide in, comes across the 20, trying to advance the ball into the circle. And there's Tipping with another great defensive play. Slides it out to the 40. O'Brien pokes at it and chips away and comes away with the ball. She comes across the 40 to the 35. Foot call against the Crimson Tide. That's going to be a Bedford ball at the Concord 35. It's 15 seconds left. Widener with a lift to open space. Smart play. Putney gives a chase. Putney keeping position. And that's the game, a 2-1 battle.
Talk about coming down to the last minute. Bedford just a big second half.
Yeah, you got to give it to both teams, Pete. Both these teams, I'll tell you, they really worked hard. Great game. Played each other tight, very evenly matched. I wouldn't be surprised to see this team again in the playoffs.
Yeah, no question. Their defense, I'll tell you, props to their defense. They had Bedford essentially shut down in the first half.
Yeah, they confused them that whole first half of the game, didn't they?
And props to Coach for adapting to that. And they came out in the second half and had a plan, and they executed it. They got some lucky breaks. The corners certainly helped.
It certainly did. Certainly did. That brings Widener's goal total for the season here to 2 goals. Couldn't have been more timely.
Folks, thank you for attending this great girls division.
Well, what do we got coming up next? So
The winner of
Bedford will head over to Merrimack on the 21st. Then it's off to Dover, back home on the 28th for Nashua South. And then a big game. They're all big games, but a big game against Windham right now in first place on the 3rd of October. So there's a lot more field hockey to go. That completed the first half of the season, and we've got another half to go.
Yeah, thanks, Pete.
This has been fun.
Great game. And we'll see how we do on Wednesday the 21st at Merrimack.
Absolutely. Thanks to the BCTV production crew here, Andrew Fenn, Bill Jennings, for letting us get the girls some much needed publicity, and we'll hope to be back and do it again.
Yep. Thank you,
All right.
guys.
Have a good afternoon, everyone.
Take care.